Invariably, you, I think, find your sense of the pulse of that village. Where is it that things are happening, where there's tensions, where there's unknown, where there's something at stake? My name is Kesang Tseten, and this is the site of a film I made 11 years ago, which was called Hami Kunaku Manche, which translates as We Corner People. The people here constantly had this refrain saying, but we're just people in the corner, we're people in the margins. I was commissioned to make this film because the river gets wild and there had been a flash flood and a young girl had been killed. So the villagers asked for a bridge. The Swiss organization that builds these bridges, in partnership with the government and with the local people, they had built 3,000 bridges. So my first reaction was, why can I make a film of the 3001st bridge? Because when you make a film, you want it to have certain reasons why it's being made there. What's special about that place? What's unique about that place? The bridge is coming, people get help. It's good. In real life, it's beneficial. But what's the story? A story is not when everything's good. A story is, it always has doubt. Are there things that, we don't totally understand? And then I hear, well, it's also dangerous. And a young girl was swept away. And I perked up. The next time I heard it, I knew that, okay, I think I have a film. Like any village out there, it's never a village out there. It's much more complex. It's like proverbial, fellow passenger on a bus sitting next to you. If you strike up a conversation, you suddenly realize that there's a huge story there. So you kind of go against the grain of there's a village out there which is just like any other village, but to actually say there's a village out there and it has specifics, and there's specific stories and specific conditions and so on. The striking thing about that experience was how poor this village was, with no economic activity, no livelihood really. A few years ago I heard that the village had really transformed because of the coming of a hydropower project. So I decided, what would I do for the next film? So I took a ride here and spent a few hours and quickly met some of the characters that were in the film. And lo and behold, it had changed. The whole landscape, the way the village looked, had transformed with all these blue tin roofs and which belonged to the hydropower offices. There were bulldozers and cranes. There were some shops for a change. Back then there was nothing. There was not even a single shop where you could buy a matchstick. As I get older, I realize that one of the advantages is that you can revisit stories, revisiting the characters and seeing what happened to them personally. And at the same time, in the background of this change brought on by the coming of hydropower, which is this colossal action on nature, money, big investment, and what's touted to be potentially Nepal's savior economically. I prefer to see situations and see people talking, but in the context of their lives. Now that's a difficult challenge, because if you do follow this approach, then you've got to create a way where somehow, in spite of you being there, people continue with their lives and their relationships. What interests me in this film is that it offers an opportunity to kind of see the timeline of people over 11 years. There was the young guy whose wife was swept away by the river, and later I heard that he had married the other woman, young woman who had been at the river with her when the floods came. And then much later now, when we visit, we hear that she had 2 children, and in the 3rd pregnancy she died. And it's not all just like happy nostalgia, it's laced with poignance, with sadness. On the other hand, there seemed to be overall a feeling that the roads have come, hydropower's come, and we are connected, we are part of the world now. So that's why I'm here.